Hey, what's going on, everybody? It is Luke Beller. So today I wanted to talk about something that is probably the only thing right now in Packers fans' minds. You know, what are the Packers going to do in the first round? What should they do when it comes to the first round of the NFL draft? Of course, the draft is now only a few weeks away, so the anticipation that we've had coming up to this draft is about to be gone. We're about to actually see what the Packers are going to do. But today I thought we would talk about potentially the Packers drafting an inside linebacker with the first round pick. Do I think they should do it? If you guys are new to this channel, I put up Packers content almost every single day. So you want to see that stuff, news analysis, everything that goes down with the draft, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel down below. So first off, thinking about this, should the Packers draft a linebacker in the first round? We obviously have to take a look at all the Packers' needs. There's obviously a good amount of them. You can make an argument for lots of different positions the Packers should potentially draft. You could say linebacker because we only have Kamal Martin, Chris Barnes. I do think they'll take a step forward in their second year, but you could argue we do need an upgrade there. You could argue cornerback just because, we have Jair Alexander. Kevin King is coming back. We got Shannon Sullivan. But the question is, is Jair Alexander enough? Are these guys enough? And I can see the Packers definitely coming in, potentially drafting cornerback. Same could be said with the offensive line. We definitely can use some more depth there. Lots of people want to see a receiver come in here for Aaron Rodgers to have like a legit number 2 receiver. And lots of people have also argued about the interior defensive line. So there's so many potential areas the Packers could come in and draft, and it really just comes down to, what is the most important position for this Packers team, for this 2021 season, for the coming years. Could it potentially be linebacker? Obviously, bringing in a really talented inside linebacker would definitely help this team. With Kamal Martin and Chris Barnes coming back in 2021, I do think they'll, continue to take a step forward coming into their second season with this defense. We did lose Christian Kirksey, but honestly, he wasn't really playing too good in 2020. And so the Packers really haven't addressed the inside linebacker position much in recent history. If you take a look here at this quote from Sports Illustrated, they say here, whether it was Ted Thompson or Gutekunst, the Packers have not prioritized inside linebackers. Since Thompson drafted A.J. Hawk in the first round and Abdul Hodge in the third in 2006, the Packers have used only one top 125 pick on an off-the-ball linebacker. That was Oren Burks with number 88 overall selection of the third round of Gutekunst's first draft in 2018. So with the history of Gutekunst also not really coming in and addressing the linebacker need, it begs the question, is he really going to change, the way that he's drafted the past few years and really come in here and spin up and, come in for the first round and draft an inside linebacker? I mean, anything is possible, but with the fact that we do have Chris Barnes and Kamal Martin both on cheap contracts, and the fact that they were serviceable last year, I just don't really know if the Packers are going to come in here and draft an inside linebacker. There's no question that, one of these top inside linebackers would definitely help this Packers defense. I just don't know if the Packers are going to come in and sort of change the way that they've drafted the past few years. It's definitely possible, but personally, I think I think cornerback is much more of a need than linebacker. I could see how you could argue both sides, but I definitely think having another guy outside of Jair Alexander coming in is more crucial than having another linebacker, just because I do think Chris Barnes and Kamal Martin could get the job done, and I do think they're going to take a step forward, just because any player coming into year 2, obviously they've learned a lot, they've grown a lot, and I do think those guys, could be good enough to, hold up for this Packers team, and then bringing in a first-round cornerback, I think could be much more, beneficial to this Packers defense overall. So even though I don't think the Packers necessarily should draft a linebacker in the first round, I can see why it could make sense, and obviously there's lots of talented guys in this draft, especially taking a look here at potential first-round inside or linebackers. So taking a look at Micah Parsons, it's very unlikely that he drops down to the Packers just because, as you see here, he's ranked by PFF as the seventh highest graded guy coming into this 2021 draft. So the chances of him falling that far, not very high. I would say this guy, Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah, we have a better chance, obviously, getting him. He's sort of ranked as the 19th guy here. And if we take a look at him and sort of what he could potentially offer the Packers, if the Packers did decide to come in and draft a linebacker, honestly, whatever the Packers pick, I'll probably be pumped, maybe unless it's a quarterback. I would be super shocked if it was a quarterback. But taking a look here at Jeremiah, 6'2", 215 pounds. First round, he is a new breed of defender. His seamless versatility can match anything an offense throws out there. His biggest strength, short area burst. His biggest weakness, roll concerns. So taking a look down here, that's sort of summarizing this player. It says, calling Owusu-Koramoah a linebacker might be doing him a disservice. He is a new breed at the position that transcends positional designation. If you need him to line up in the slot, the role he most often executed in Notre Dame's defense, he can go toe-to-toe with a wide receiver. If you need him in the box, he can explode through blockers and ball carriers. He can give defensive coordinators the flexibility to match up with anything offensive throw at them. There's not much projection here either, as JOK has already been excellent in coverage over the past 2 seasons. That honestly would be great to come in here and have a linebacker that is able to cover at a very high level, because Chris Barnes and Kamal Martin, they're okay, but I don't know if they're, I mean, I'm guessing Jeremiah is much more talented than them. It would be, I'm honestly curious to see like how much different the Packers defense would look with one of these top linebackers. So if we were to come in and draft one, I'd be a little curious to be like, okay, like, is this going to be a huge boost? So another potential guy that could be around here, we got Nick Bolton. PFF has him ranked as a 33rd, I guess, overall prospect. 6 foot, 232 pounds. Bolton doesn't tick every physical qualifier box at linebacker, but who cares? He personifies the position. Coming down here to his summary. It says you'll hear about Bolton's physical knocks all spring. He's not going to be the close to the biggest, fastest, or longest linebacker in the class, but when it comes to playing the game of football, he just may be the best. He had the most stops of any linebacker in SEC play in each of the past 2 seasons. He's a tone setter in every sense of the word. Bolton wants to send a message to every player he comes in contact with. There are no role projection concerns with Bolton either. Put him at Mike linebacker, and profit. So it seems that he's a very talented player, probably first, maybe second round, potentially, where he will likely be drafted. So maybe the Packers, being at pick number 29, I'm guessing he will likely be around. And this is a guy that I've heard a lot about, especially when it comes to potentially the Packers maybe wanting to come in and draft him. 35th ranked overall by PFF. We got Zaven Collins. This guy's just huge. He's 6'4", 260 pounds. So as you see here, it says Collins truly has a rare physical skill set. Scheme will be important, and he could be special in the right one. Biggest strength, his rare size. Biggest weakness, tackling. Sort of important, but so down here you see with the linebacker position in the NFL getting smaller and smaller in recent years, Collins is a decidedly different animal. At 6'4", 260 pounds, Collins has throwback thumper size combined with modern athleticism. His performance this past year for Tulsa was nothing short of special. He consistently made plays in coverage with 4 picks and a pass breakup in only 8 games. His best attribute when projecting to the next level, though, is what he can do as a blitzer. Running backs aren't blocking this dude. He's going to be high on any blitz-heavy team's draft board and will wreak havoc on opposing offenses. I would love a player on this Packers defense to wreak havoc. So if the Packers drafted this guy 6'4", I would honestly be pumped. So personally, my preference for the Packers is to come in and draft a cornerback in the first round just because I think it's a very important position, and I do think having a guy outside of Jair Alexander who is, first-round talent, I think could be huge for this Packers team. Next off, my preference would just be a defensive player in general, just because I think we've seen this Packers offense is, we can move the ball at will pretty much all the time. I would understand a offensive tackle or offensive guard or a center potentially, but I'd rather them come in maybe the second or third rounds, but who knows what's actually going to happen. I'd be curious to hear your guys' thoughts, what you guys want to see the Packers do in the first round. But that's all for today, and I'll see you guys on the next video.